Okay guys, I'm just going to do another video. I'm not sure how many have seen, but I've been kicked off another Facebook group, this time KTM Suspension Talk. There's still a lot of guys really opposing what I'm saying, not liking the term frequency, saying that I'm not, I don't know what I'm talking about and I've got it all wrong. So I've taken a bit of a look into it, and I can see where people get confused and why they resist the term frequency so much, and why they believe acceleration and frequency aren't relevant to motocross suspension. So I don't know how many guys have come across this website before, but I'm just going to bring up an extract from Restacker. So this is a website that claims to have software that helps you tune your suspension. So I've used this in the past, and I've suggested that it doesn't match up with the dyno data, and had a lot of discussions with the owner of the website and a lot of pushback. He believes that frequency and acceleration aren't relevant terms, doesn't believe in hysteresis or pressure balancing. Basically, he implies that you can produce any quantity of force across either valve, and it will ride the same. So we're just going to bring up his website, and you can see this extract here, and he's saying that Tour defines the suspension response. So he's basically saying Tour defines the oscillation frequency and is a function of mass and spring rate. So this is really basic free vibration theory. So he's calculated the natural frequency of the system, which in most cases for motocross bikes and off-road bikes is about 1.85 hertz. And then he's saying that the time that the suspension will take to come back to ride height will be 1 divided by the natural frequency, which is 540 milliseconds. So he's saying no matter what bump you hit on the track, what jump you do on the track, how fast the bike's going or how slow the bike's going, the time period for that particular event is always going to be 540 milliseconds or 1.85 hertz in frequency. So we can see there that's where the confusion is coming from, because these guys, if you ask me, they're certainly using the wrong vibration theory. So we're going to talk about forced vibration because this is the more applicable theory, and this relates to what we've actually seen in the telemetry. So forced vibration occurs when an oscillating force is applied to a mechanical system. This externally applied force causes the system to vibrate at a specific frequency, known as the forcing frequency, which is equal to the frequency of the applied force. So this is what I've been saying. And I got a whole lot of pushback from Billy, saying that I was using the wrong term. He was insistent that it was input period, which we can see here it's not. It's forcing frequency or input frequency. So we're going to see where we've got some real world examples of forced vibration. So one of the most straightforward examples of forced vibration can be witnessed in everyday transportation. Every time you ride a bike or drive a car over an uneven surface, you're experiencing forced vibration. The bumps in the road provide a forcing frequency, causing the suspension system, which could be the springs on your bicycle or the shock absorbers in your car, to vibrate. So this relates back to the telemetry data I've been getting. So we can see from the stuff I shared in the peak velocity video that every bump has a different time period or a different frequency. So that's the rate of oscillation. So and then within that we can have different peak velocities, different amplitudes, and this is all to do with the input frequency. So the output frequency will be the same as the input frequency. So short sharp bumps like square edge stuff, that's going to have a very high frequency, and then the long slow bumps like G-outs, jumps, that sort of stuff, that'll have that very low frequency. So we can see here that the guys are using the wrong vibration theory, and this is why they're very, very opposed to the concept of frequency and acceleration of the suspension, because if you use the free vibration. You don't even you don't even use the frequency never changes. Basically, it's always the same frequency, which doesn't match the telemetry data. So I would say, there's a couple of guys with degrees. Not quite sure where they might have got those from, but they're way off the mark. So it doesn't match the telemetry. And I mean, people can argue that maybe my telemetry is wrong, but I've spoken with one of the organisations that offers a commercially available telemetry setup. It doesn't quite record at the same rate as mine, but he's seen output frequencies that go up to about 7 hertz, and like we saw on mine, I've got up to 10 hertz. So we're talking 5 times the natural frequency. So and this has big implications, because if you believe what Restack is saying, then all the stuff I'm saying doesn't apply. But if you acknowledge that Restack is using the wrong vibration theory, then all the stuff I'm saying does apply. And it's crazy, because the automotive industry has spent billions of dollars of research on the subject of hysteresis and how it increases with the increase of frequency with the damper input. So to imply that it's not a thing would be a very big stretch. So yeah, it's definitely a thing, and I don't know how many guys see a motocross track that's smoother than a road. So that's why it's so relevant to motocross, because we're seeing all kinds of shapes of bumps, that, from the square edge stuff that I just talked about, to rippled ground, hard packed rippled ground, to big G outs, all that sort of stuff. So as I've shown in the previous videos, you can have all sorts of time periods for that impact, and you can have all kinds of peak velocities at different time frames. So this is all important stuff, and I can see where they've gone wrong, and yeah, it's definitely a thing, and it's definitely going to upset a lot of people, because I know there's a lot of big suspension companies that have used this restacker, believe what this guy's posting. So I can see why there's a lot of pushback, but this is something to consider. I think if you want to look into it further, just go into Google and just type in force vibration input frequency. There'll be a lot of information that comes up. There's a couple of really good YouTube videos. I'll post one in the link that I think is quite cool. And you take your time and have a look at it, and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.